with limited information at this point. We don't know about injuries.
What the hell happened?
A bomb, I think.
I don't know why he came all the way up here. There's nothing left.
There are people out there. People worth saving.
Most people had finally given up hope.
Hey y'all, this is my review for A Quiet Place Part 2. Rhyming like Dr. Seuss out here, who people are trying to cancel, but we're not gonna talk about that. I think it might be old news. I don't know, pay attention to all that. But anyway, I read all the books when I was a kid, so hopefully I can read the books when I have kids one day. But anyway, this is my review for A Quiet Place Part 2. Well, actually, when you think about it, we read banned books in school. Like, wasn't Fahrenheit 451 banned, and like To Kill a Mockingbird? So even if Dr. Seuss got banned, you could find a way. What is that, Clockwork Orange? Isn't that banned too? What's the purpose of banning books if we still reading them? I don't know. I don't pay attention to all that. I read a lot of books, and apparently they was banned. I don't know. But this movie's directed by John Krasinski, who directed the first Quiet Place. He's an actor, we all know. Emily Blunt, his real life wife in the movie. She's from everything, not playing. Edge of Tomorrow. I love her and everything she's in. She got Jungle Cruise coming up with The Rock. Can't wait to see that. What other movie? She's in so many movies. But she's from Quiet Place Part 1. Everybody in here, except for one guy, is, well, technically, we're gonna get to that. But we got Millicent Simmons, I think that's her name, who plays Reagan, who's the daughter, the one who's, I think she's deaf, yes. And then we got John Krasinski, who plays Lee. We got Noah Jupe, who plays Marcus, who is the son. Digimon Hansu, he's in the movie for a bit. You know him from Guardians of the Galaxy, Blood Diamond. He in everything too. Love him, amazing. I don't know, I'm not gonna say his name. Akirete Onaldo. He plays a police officer in this movie. And Scoot McNairy has his role in this movie as well, when they get to the dock later on in the movie. But the big guy from this movie is Cillian Murphy, who plays Emmett, who is from 28 Days Later. He plays Scarecrow in Batman Begins, Dark Knight Rises. He has that distinct face. You know it's him when you see him. Quiet Place, the first one. I'm personally not a fan of the first Quiet Place. I did not like that movie. I did not enjoy it. I went to see it at Studio Movie Grill. So a lot of people trying to eat while the movie was quiet was not the smartest thing to do. Didn't make that mistake this time. I saw Quiet Place Part 2 in Dolby. But I didn't like the first Quiet Place. I felt it was a lot of stupid decisions. Even though horror movies have stupid decisions, some of these are too stupid. Looking at You, Army of the Dead. Review for that coming soon. But anyway, the first one, I just didn't like it. I didn't care for the characters. It wasn't bad, I just wasn't a fan of it. The trailer does not do A Quiet Place Part 2 justice. The trailer is good, don't get me wrong. This movie is phenomenal. This movie is amazing. This movie is miles better than the first one. If you enjoyed the first one, you would love this movie like you'd probably say it's 10 out of 10. Like that's how amazing it is. I wouldn't give it anything if I had to give a score less than a 9. As you can know, it's a see it. This movie is, oh man, like I completely 180 from First Quiet Place. I'm like, this is so much better. The movie keeps you from beginning to end. The whole time you are just intrigued what's going on, the tension, the stress. Even if you kind of know what's going to happen next, it just, man, people getting messed up left and right in this movie, people doing stuff. And a lot of stuff in this movie that I feel is better than the first movie, and a lot of horror movies, is a lot of stuff you're like, why are you doing that, dummy? Like, what are you doing? What is going on? And then it was them baiting and doing what they really wanted to do to get, like, they were pretty smart in this movie, making you think they was dumb, but they was really smart. They was doing stuff. And I'm like, dude, like, this movie right here. But, spoiler section right now, let you know. Movie starts. The only reason I cared about seeing this movie is when the first one ended and they started talking about the sequel. They said they were going to explore how it started, day one. And that's the only reason I cared about seeing this movie. And I loved it even more past that. But it starts from the beginning. It starts from the first day. They're just having a normal day. People are in the neighborhood. And then out of nowhere, something hits. These freaking alien creatures are all over the place, hitting everybody, doing this and that, taking people out. Nobody knows what's going on. That whole first sequence lasts a while, and it draws you in to the normal world and then descends into this Quiet Place universe and what's going on. And the way they do it, the whole beginning of the movie, just you're gripped the whole time. They got you. Like, they slowly build. And that's the problem that I'm going to see, hopefully, with the new Conjuring movie, which is sad. I love the Conjuring movies. I love them. But they focus a lot on jump scares. This movie focuses more on atmosphere building. A true horror movie, or any type of movie that will keep your interest, builds an atmosphere. They have dialogue. They have interest in the characters. When you care about the characters, you care about the movie. Like It 1 and 2 is not scary, but you care about the characters. You care about the dialogue, what happens to them, their backstories, their motives, the emotions, all that. That's what's important. John Krasinski, even though I didn't like the first one, it is still a good movie. This movie is fantastic. I'm ready for Quiet Place Part 3. Like I said, it starts from the beginning, and then it ends with that scene, goes into the very ending of the first movie. So you're still like, I think it's the next morning after everything that happens in the first movie. They progress along, they gotta move on, they gotta find people. They find Emmett. Emmett was a friend of theirs that you see from the beginning before this happened. Emmett never came to help them, so they was kind of iffy about that. And they're like, dude, our dad was your best friend. You know our family. Why didn't you come help us when you knew that we needed help? We sent you signals that we need help. But he was dealing with his own stuff. And that's why I was like, man, this lady done brought her a stupid baby. Like, you're supposed to be quiet. You done brought your stupid baby. You done brought your dumb kids, who, they redeemed themselves, but still, at the beginning, like, you done brought your stupid baby, your dumb kids, and you like, bro, help us, please, please, sir. I was like, lady, you gotta go. Which he did do that. He was like, you gotta go, but then he turned around and he was being a good person. But I feel like it was smart for him to have lost his son and his wife, because, which they touch on, if he didn't lose his son and his wife, he wouldn't have had no motivation or no effort to try to help them out. Because at that point, it's self-preservation. I'm like, man, get up out of here. Like, please go. You taking up my resources. You bringing the creatures to me. You got this baby and these kids and they doing all this stupid stuff. No. Long story short, I'm not going to spoil the whole movie, but the stupid stuff leads to some smart stuff. They expand. One thing they did great in the end of the movie, which I do appreciate, is they expanded in the first movie the whole universe. This movie, they expand the universe again. A Quiet Place, I don't care if there's a Quiet Place part 9, 10, because one thing, if you don't like Fast and Furious, one thing they do is they expand on the characters and they expand on the universe as a whole, which means they could do like spin-offs, like Walking Dead and stuff. They could do all this stuff, but as long as it stays good, nobody's gonna be mad. If the first one's good, the second one's fantastic. Quiet Place Part 2. Go see it right now. Watch it. Dolby, IMAX. Go see it in theaters. You can't see it nowhere else. If you feel like you want to watch it, it's worth it. If you feel safe enough, go see it. I loved it. I didn't care for the first one, but I love the second one. Quiet Place Part 2 is a fantastic film. Great horror movie. Even if you're not scared, it's still interesting. It's still good. That's what's important about horror movies. Characters, emotions, motivations, backstory, exposition, same thing I think. But definitely see it. Man, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and got more reviews coming your way. See that Quiet Place Part 2. Part 3 definitely coming.